Hi and welcome back. Here I am in my natural habitat, my studio, and some of you might know me from my other channel where I talk about music production and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that today. I'll talk about my journey, my cancer journey, and this might help people who are going through the same thing, which is stage 4 metastatic prostate cancer, which is when you first get the diagnosis is pretty hard, because I was told that it was not curable, and kind of go get your affairs in order. We don't know how long you got, sort of thing. Not very nice. The oncologist I had, I was living in Cannes. We were living in Cannes at the time, and this is March 2022, and so I was kind of under the shock, and like most people, you don't really know much about cancer and how it all works, and you go on this journey, which I would advise to everyone to do, is to learn as much as you can about the disease that you've got, the staging, the whole thing, because there's a lot of different sorts and there's a lot of variables that can kind of make it that you're going to get through it or not. One of them being hormone resistance or hormone sensitive, because prostate cancer feeds off your testosterone. What they do is they get rid of your testosterone, which is a nightmare, by the way. The side effects are horrible and they're really, really hard to live with, but that's what you have to go through. So it can't feed anymore. So then your PSA will go down, and you will start to see an improvement, but you can be resistant to that and it won't work. So that is a nightmare. But anyway, most people are not resistant to it, or not at first anyway. So you can go on hormone therapy for a few years. But in my case, because it had already spread to the bones, my hip, the spine, the base of the spine, and some lymph nodes, it was complicated already. It wasn't that far out, but it was enough for them to be concerned, and it was a high grade, very high grade. So my initial diagnosis was Gleason 10, so 5+5 on all cores of the when they did the biopsy. I had 10 cores that were actually taken out, and they were all 5+5. So that was the highest you can get. My PSA was only 5.5, which is not a naturally very good thing, because the cancer is not very different, because it's aggressive. The more aggressive it is, the less they can tell the difference, apparently, something like that. Anyway, so apparently your PSA is not that high, and so it's not an excellent thing either. But because of the doubling, it doubled up in like a month. That's what made them suspicious, and got me to go in and have an MRI. But originally the first urolog I had got it wrong. He said, "Oh, it's just enlarged." He didn't even do like a finger thing. He just did an echo, an ultrasound, and he said, "Oh, it's okay. It's just enlarged. You're fine." But they didn't know it was the other side. It was behind. They couldn't see it. But anyway, he made a mistake there, and a month later I went back to him. He gave me some medication. I went back and he said, "Oh, we have to do it. We're doing an MRI, see how it goes." I did the MRI and they freaked out. I had one of my kidneys was blocked by a tumour going into the pipe that comes down from the kidney into the bladder. That was blocked. So I had like a kidney going into failure. And the woman came in and saw me after the scan, said, "You got to go. You got to come in tomorrow and have that sorted out. Have a double G thing put in where it bypasses and helps the urine go through." And so I had that put in and a biopsy the next day. And the day after that, I was going to England, so it was pretty full on. And the diagnosis, when I got back, it was positive, and then they did another biopsy. This is like 10 days later on my right hand side, on my hip bone, because I had it in there and I wanted to see if it was the same cancer, and it was. But that got delayed 10 days, because when I went to get tested for COVID, I was positive. So I had cancer, COVID, the double C's, and I had COVID, but unfortunately I wasn't that ill. I was just like a cold. And then I got through that. I had the biopsy done. Of course, it was positive, and then I went on treat. I was on hormone therapy already. I think I went straight onto hormone therapy, and then I started chemo and went through chemo, and that was okay. Chemo wasn't that bad. Coffee. Chemo wasn't that bad. It was every 3 weeks, 6 cycles every 3 weeks. So it wasn't like over the top. And they give you quite a big dose, so it lasts for 3 weeks. So for a week you're pretty rough. You feel like you got the flu, and you're tired, and you've got nausea, and you've got no taste. The taste just goes off the charts. You know, everything tastes bad, tastes metallic. And then I went through chemo, and that went really well. And they said, "Oh, right, listen, we're going to try and do some radiotherapy on the primal site, the primary site, which is the prostate, and it reduced from 3 centimeters down to 0.2 centimeters, thanks to the chemo. So they got rid of that last little bit, and ever since I've been having PET scans every 6 months, checkups every 3 months, and I'm still in remission. They said you're in remission, but it's not true remission. There's nothing there, but the true remission is going to start at the end of this month, when I stop hormone therapy. So I've been on hormone therapy 3 years. I'm losing all my muscles. I walk every day. I exercise a lot. I've been doing a lot of fasting, because basically I put on 10 kilos. I was up to 85 kilos, and I started fasting, and I got down to 68.8 was my lowest. And now I'm at 73. So, I mean, I lost and I put a little bit back on because I was too thin, and I put a little bit back on, but I want to be about 71, 72 is my ideal weight. So I put a bit of weight on because of Christmas, New Year, and then we went away for a weekend, and I've been eating. And so I'm going to go back onto fasting a bit, which is good for your body anyway. And I'm walking a lot, but my muscles, oh man, my muscles in my legs are just not what they used to be. And I was a skater. I was a long distance skater. With a lot of friends of ours. I'm not like a world champion, but I can roller skate pretty good. And I found a hockey club here, so I'm going to start hockey again, but it's a bit risky because my bone density was quite low. So I've gone on bone density treatment as well, which is lasting 3 years, and halfway through that. Anyway, that's another story. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. But don't lose hope. Prostate cancer you can get through. Prostate cancer is a pretty good one to treat. I've got people around me, I've got a lot worse cancers like pancreatic and liver and lung cancer. Yeah, a lot harder to get through. So I wouldn't say you're lucky getting it, but you're lucky getting that kind of cancer. We're lucky in that respect, I suppose. Well, it does freak you out, but it's manageable. You can get through prostate cancer if you don't drink, you don't smoke, and if you have a good hygiene of life, as they say in French. Yeah, so that's my story, my cancer story so far. I've kind of condensed it down into one video because I don't want to have this channel. It's not going to be all about cancer. The hair loss is not due to cancer. I lost it in 2020. I started losing my hair just before COVID. 2019 Christmas, I started losing my hair, and it went on for 3 months and everything. I just lost everything. By April 2020, I had no hair left. It was diagnosed as alopecia universalis, which is the worst kind of alopecia you can get, which is an autoimmune disorder. And it's starting to come back. I got growth here, and a bit on the body. So it kind of like is still there, hair's still there. So it's weird. I don't know if it's going to come back or not. But my head is completely, my eyebrows, my eyelashes, you can see, everything's gone. So I already had the chemo look before I went into chemo. And when I went into chemo for the first time, they went, "Oh, is this your first time?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Huh?" And then I explained it, and then I went, "Oh, okay." So yeah. So anyway, that's my story so far, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.